Hello, fourth graders. Thank you for joining me today for Number Corner. As you can see, we are doing color 10 today. This is our third time doing it, so we should have a pretty good understanding of how to play the game. But before we do, I always like to do some math review with you guys because math review is always something that is beneficial to us. So as we can see here, these are adding fractions, some rules for adding fractions. If you look on the left here, it says adding or subtracting fractions with the same denominator. If the numbers and the fractions, if they have common denominators, so they have the same number as on the bottom of the fraction, you can just subtract or add just the numerators at the top. You keep the denominators the same. And then if you take a look at the right here, it says adding or subtracting fractions with a different denominator. Here's what you do. What you do is you find equivalent fractions. That is our first step. Once you have equivalent fractions, then you just do the same thing with this step here, and you subtract the numerators or add the numerators, and then simplify if possible. Now, something else that I wanted to go over that I think we need to spend a little bit more time on is converting. So converting is when we're taking it from we're taking the fraction and we are changing how it looks. We're not changing the value of it. The value is remaining the same. We're just changing how it looks. And so here's how to do that. If we have an improper fraction and we want to change it to a mixed number, there are 4 steps that we follow. The first step is dividing the numerator by the denominator. In this case, 17 divided by 5. Then the whole number becomes the mixed number, or becomes the mixed fraction's whole number. So that was a weird sentence there, but let me explain to you what I mean. So if you can see on this here, when we divided 17 by 5, our whole number that we got was 3. That 3 then became our mixed number whole. That was our mixed number whole. Then the third step, the remainder, we had a remainder of 2 in this problem. The remainder becomes the numerator. So that is how I moved it to the numerator there. And then finally, the divisor, so what you're dividing by, I divided by 5. That is going to be our denominator. So let me show you an example really quick here. So if I show you an example, one thing that I can see here is, okay, we have 5/4. There is one whole. This is a 1 whole here, and this is the part of our fraction. If you notice, 5/4, we can represent that with this, but we can also represent it like this. They have the same value, they just look different. And if you notice, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 pieces in total there out of the fourths. There are 5 1/4 pieces available. But if you look at the whole, there is 1 whole, and then there's only 1/4 left over. So visually, that is why we are converting it. And I'm going to do this one really quick for you. So if you take a look here and you think about 5/4, well, what we can do is we can divide 5 by 4. So I'm going to put 5 in my division box there with 4 on the outside. Then I think about how many times does 4 go into 5 without going over it? Well, it goes on there once. So we're going to put 1 there. When I multiply 1 times 4, I get 4. I'm going to subtract my number. 5 minus 4 equals 1. Now here's where the fun thing comes in. I'm going to just put a remainder of 1. Here is what I want to do now. My whole number becomes our 1, and our mixed numbers whole number. Our remainder becomes our numerator. And finally, our divisor becomes our denominator. So that is how you can go from a improper fraction to a mixed number. So now here's what you're going to do for the rest of your assignment today. You're going to go ahead and you are going to play another game of Play Color 10. Again, how to play this game is that there are halves, fourths, and eighths. You are going to spin this spinner. And once you spin the spinner, you have 5 turns to do this. So you spin it once, and then you get to decide, okay, I rolled a 6. You get to decide, do I want to put that 6 as my numerator over 1/2 or over 2? Do I want to put it over 4 or do I want to put it over 8? If you put 6 over 2, that means that it's going to be more than 1 whole. If you put 6 over 8, that's going to be less than a whole. Your objective is to get to 10 full circles by the end of the game. So with 5 turns, you want to have 10 circles filled in, just like I have right here. Like notice I spun a 7, so I put 7 halves there, and I colored in 7 of the little half marks here. And then the rest of your homework that you are going to do today, once you finish playing Color 10, you just have 4 problems here, and they are different improper fraction problems. What you are going to do is you are going to find each sum. And if the sum is an improper fraction, you are going to convert it to a mixed number. And you're going to convert it using this strategy right here. So if you have any questions, you can watch the example video that shows you how to go over I'm going to solve this problem for you. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, please join our math workshop today from 12 until 1. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.